So this is the God patent, and as Chris told you, it's the story of a laid-off engineer, a man who makes a tremendous number of very bad decisions. And in the course of trying to put things right, he gets caught in this battle between science and religion, and his navigator, if you will, is this girl, Katerina. And Katerina is, she has no boundaries. Her father died a year ago, and her mother hasn't recovered. She's a skate rat, she's a headbanger, and she is also a math prodigy. I'm going to dive right in about 2/3 of the way through. There was an extra large crowd outside Skate and Shred. Broken Skeg was playing, and in the years since Ryan had landed in Petaluma, they'd acquired a following, and some of their songs had sold in the thousands at iTunes. Ryan hustled down the hill. It would be a busy night, and the thought of hanging with the kids, maybe for the last time, was bittersweet. Ryan walked his circuit, flushed a handful of stoners out of the alley, recommended that graffiti be written on the huge pieces of plywood that we provide for it, not the damn bricks. He also reminded several dozen teens that, you know, cigarette smoke has carbon monoxide in it. When he passed the ticket booth, Ryan asked Dodge if he'd seen Katerina. Dodge said she was inside. The theater was packed so tight that they had to move some of the skate ramps out into the alley. It seemed like a fight broke out every 10 minutes, and always on the opposite side of the building from Ryan. They broke up as soon as the kids saw Ryan's irritated smirk. He thought he saw Katerina a couple of times, but he never had a chance to check in with her. At the end of their set, Broken Skeg's roadies broke down their equipment. Roadies at Skate and Shred? Ryan headed backstage to see what else Broken Skeg had graduated to. A particularly large boy stopped him at the door leading upstairs to the dressing room. As Ryan began to explain the situation to the thug starter kid, he heard a siren. Oh, shit. Ryan brushed past the kid up through the dressing room to an emergency exit. The door was open and clogged with aspiring musicians looking out from the fire escape. Ryan pushed between them onto a landing. A police car was directly below. Ryan tried to gauge the situation before descending the stairs, but the flashing blue and white lights did nothing to illuminate the scene. Ryan worked his way down the fire escape between teenagers. The usual smell of the alley was augmented with a familiar scent. A scent that had once been an intimate companion of Ryan's, burning methamphetamine. With none of the cloying qualities of burning leaves, meth smoke dissipates quickly. The cops must have caught them lighting up. At the bottom of the stairs, he struggled through the crowd to a police officer who was guiding teenagers away. 2 other cops were shaking down 5 teenagers against the brick wall, right under one of Katerina's dragon murals. There was a small pile of paraphernalia behind the cops. The pile grew as the officer pulled vials, baggies, and pipes from the pockets of the teenagers. The cop working crowd control approached Ryan. "Where's Nutter? If he's not here in 1 minute, we're going to shut you down." "Oh no," Ryan said, but not in response to the cop. "Oh no, oh Katerina, no." The cop grabbed his arm, but Ryan shook him off and rushed forward. The cop called him from behind. "She related to you?" Ryan said the first thing that came to mind, a lie. "She's my daughter." Katerina was spread against the wall, sobbing. Seeing her helpless and humiliated dislodged something in Ryan's heart. He had to stop it. He wanted that cocky kid back. The one who'd said, "My friends call me Kat, you can call me Katerina," the day they met. It got worse. At first, Ryan thought she was wearing a very short skirt that had been hyped up, maybe by the cops while searching her. In the blinking lights, it was hard to tell. But then it was too obvious. She was naked from the waist down. Ryan turned away. The image froze in his mind and felt as though it would never go away. In a strong, solid voice that easily carried over the commotion, he said, "Katerina, I'm right here." Then he scanned the alley. The adrenaline edge slowed time. His eyes followed the police car lights. He ran to the side of a dumpster and grabbed Katerina's skirt, her little black purse, and boots. A flashlight lit on him, and the cop who had just searched Katerina said, "Drop that, now." Ryan tossed the skirt to Katerina's feet and dropped the purse and shoes. "Would you let her put some clothes on?" The cop picked up Katerina's skirt. Ryan felt a huge rush of guilt. What had he done? The image of that check being waved under his nose rushed back. Was the world this cruel? Did he have to trade one child for another? You're her father? The cop broke Ryan from the trance. Yeah, I'm her father. As the words came out, Katerina's head snapped around. Trails of mascara ran down her face, but her eyes sparkled. Even from the 10 feet that separated them, and with the poor lighting, Ryan could see the size of her pupils. Her beautiful emerald irises were crowded away, meth's certain signature. Before she spoke, Ryan knew what she would say. All the hours they'd spent together, working through the great concepts of mathematical physics, laughing, struggling, and trying to comprehend the thoughts of God, collapsed in that instant. Ryan screamed, "My father's dead!" Ryan tried to drown her out. "Let me get her home. I'll punish her worse than you ever could." The cop said, "We have to process her. You can pick her up in a few hours. Give your name and phone number to Officer Dorsey." He finally handed Katerina her skirt. Dorsey was the cop who had been doing crowd control, now working a clipboard, taking down information from the teams. Katerina pulled on her skirt and the cop handcuffed her. As he led her to the squad car, Ryan reached out and grabbed her shoulder. "It'll be okay, Katerina, I promise." "Fuck you." The cop pushed her into the car. Ryan mumbled to himself, "Don't say fuck." Ryan didn't know where to look for Katerina's mother. How do you search for a ghost? He sprinted to the box office. Dodge was counting money. Ryan told him that Katerina had been arrested. "How can I get her out of jail?" "Bring her father back to life," Dodge said. "Kid's lost, McNear. Nothing you can do." "She's going to jail." "That might be what she needs." "Damn it, Dodge, do you hear yourself?" Ryan pushed Dodge's chair away from the desk and stepped in the gap, pointing with his index finger. "Are you kidding? Where can I find her mother?" "Even if you find Jane, she won't come." Dodge pushed Ryan's finger away. "You understand? When Jane finds out, she'll just get on her bike and ride away." Ryan stared at Dodge. His stomach felt empty. The adrenaline was fading away, leaving acid behind. Dodge was right. Katerina arrested. Katerina smoking meth. Katerina having sex. It was way too much for her mother. "Dodge, you're a lawyer. What can I do?" "Lie." So Ryan lied. But his lies couldn't keep Katerina out of a juvenile holding cell at the county jail. He sat in a plastic chair under fluorescent lights, staring at the tiled floor. He tried not to listen to the sob stories every person on his side of the counter told the police sergeant. He tried to sit still, tried to mind his own business, but he couldn't help realize this is where parents come to worry. Thank you very much.